monthly economic data release call. We are going to begin recording this presentation so that you guys can use the B-roll and sound bites for anything that you need. Please make sure that your phone lines are muted and your video is turned off. We like to make sure that that's done so that anybody can get Adrian and the full presentation in their roles. So please make sure your video is turned off and your microphones remain muted. Adrian is going to begin the presentation in just a minute. You can enter questions that you have in the chat feature. If you look at the top of your computer screen, you should see a chat icon. Click that and you can enter your questions there for us to answer. If you have any additional questions as the presentation goes on, you can also email us at media@deo.myflorida.com. Today's presentation is focused on employment data for April 2021, and questions regarding reemployment assistance will not be addressed on this call. You can again email media@deo.myflorida.com and we'll answer those questions as quickly as possible. So now I'm going to turn over the call to Adrienne Johnston. She's our DEO's Chief Economist.
Hi, good morning, everyone. At 10 a.m. this morning, the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity released April 2021 labor statistics for the state of Florida and its sub-state areas, including all metropolitan areas, counties, and large cities. These data were produced by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics through a federal state cooperative agreement with DEO. Data were collected through a combination of employer and household surveys, administrative records, and statistical modeling techniques. So this morning, I'm going to walk you through the details of the April 2021 data release, starting with the household survey. Okay, as a reminder, the current population survey is used to estimate Florida's unemployment rate, total labor force, and labor force participation rate under the local area unemployment statistics program. Since these statistics are based on a survey of households, they capture information about individuals, not jobs, and they are calculated by place of residence, not place of work. Florida's seasonally adjusted unemployment rate in April 2021 was 4.8%. This was lower than the national rate of 6.1%. Florida's April 2021 unemployment rate was a 0.1 percentage point increase from the March 2021 rate and down 9.2 percentage points from the April 2020 rate. In April 2021, Miami-Dade County and Hamilton County had the highest unemployment rate with 6.9%, followed by Osceola County with 6.7%. Monroe County had the state's lowest unemployment rate with 3.2%, followed by St. Johns County with 3.4%. This unemployment rate represented 487,000 jobless individuals out of a labor force of 10,243,000. Florida's April 2021 labor force was up 73,000 or 0.7% from 1 month ago and up 478,000 or 4.9% from the April 2020 level. This over-the-month increase in the total labor force was driven by an increase in both employed and unemployed people. It brings the labor force to its highest point since the beginning of the pandemic. Many of those in the unemployed category were entering the labor force looking for a job. People can be unemployed for different reasons. Some may have lost their job. Many quit their job voluntarily. Many re-entered the job market or even entered the job market for the first time and have not found employment yet. When an unemployment rate increase happens at the same time that the labor force increases, it is often a positive sign. It likely means that people are optimistic about employment opportunities and are therefore entering the job market by searching for work. Job creation data for Florida is derived from the Current Employment Statistics, or CES survey conducted by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. The CES survey collects data from up to 20,000 Florida businesses and establishments each month to measure jobs by industry across the state. Since these statistics are based on a survey of employers, they measure counts of jobs, not individuals, and they capture characteristics of employers, such as industry and place of work. The total non-agricultural employment rose to 8,568,900 jobs in April 2021. This was up 16,900 jobs, or 0.2% from March 2021. This figure is up 766,000 jobs from a year ago, an over-the-year increase of 9.8%. Florida's private sector non-agricultural employment was 7,491,300 jobs in April 2021. This was up 18,800 jobs, or 0.3% from March 2021. Total private employment was up 795,800 jobs from April 2020. This is an over-the-year increase of 11.9%. As we have discussed before, there are differences in what is included in the employment estimates for these two data series. Labor force statistics includes self-employed and other non-covered workers, while the CES does not include these categories of workers. These factors can contribute to different fluctuations on a monthly basis. Remember that it is better to look at a longer-term trend than just a few months. As of April 2021, the labor force employment level is at 96.5% of what it was in February 2020, and CES is at 94.5%. These two series are on a similar recovery track. 8 out of 10 major industry sectors in Florida gained jobs over the month. 9 of the 10 major industries gained jobs over the year. The government was the lone industry to lose jobs over the year, with a decrease of 29,800 jobs. Leisure and hospitality gained 8,100 jobs over the month and 302,000 jobs over the year. The other services industry gained 4,400 jobs over the month and 55,900 jobs over the year. The two industries to lose jobs over the month were government and trade, transportation, and utilities. The April 2021 seasonally adjusted local area data showed that 14 of the 24 metro areas in Florida had over-the-month job gains. The Orlando, Kissimmee, Sanford metro area gained the most jobs with 6,700, and Port St. Lucie grew the fastest with a rate of 0.9%. Other metro areas with notable job growth were the Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater metro area, 2,000 jobs, and the Jacksonville metro area with 1,800 jobs. Finally, we have another data series that I wanted to share with you. This is our monthly online job ads. Note that this is not seasonally adjusted, but it is a way for us to capture what job demand looks like during a given month. This graphic shows 2 years of historical online job ads for Florida statewide for all occupations. As you can see, job ads hit a low of 195,315 job ads in May 2020. In April 2021, job ads hit a high of 461,858. This was up 59,700 jobs from March and up 202,000 jobs over the year. This represents an increase of 78% over the year. And that concludes my remarks for this morning. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
All right, now we'll turn the call over to questions. If you have a question, please enter it in the in the chat feature so that we can get those questions answered for you. Please also include your name and media outlet. So Greg Angel asks, tourism business owners say they're struggling to hire workers. What does the data say about the hospitality workforce, and what about the other sectors of employment? Could it be that people are leaving hospitality and going into other industries of work?
So it's a great question. Thanks for asking that. So for what we're seeing so far is we are seeing increases in jobs across the board and job ads across the board. And I think that's our best picture of what's going on with the recovery and where employment is going in terms of industry. I don't think we have evidence to suggest that people are leaving the hospitality industry and going into other industries. I'm not saying that's not possible, but we don't have data to specifically show that. But we are seeing that jobs are coming back in the leisure hospitality industry just at a slower pace than some of the other industries. So it could be on both sides of the equation that's leading to that. But when you look at the online job ads, I think you're seeing a lot of growth across the board, and that includes that hospitality industry.
Again, please enter your questions in the chat feature and we'll get to those as soon as possible. Forrest Saunders asks, Florida's unemployment numbers have hovered around 4.7%. Sorry, 4.7% for the last few months. Any concern that recovery is leveling out?
Good question. I think there I would really highlight, we've talked a little bit about this over the past few months, but I think you really see it this month, that while the unemployment rate has remained pretty level, what we're seeing is that the labor force is increasing over the month. And so that's a positive sign. You want to see the labor force increasing. That may result in either a steady or a slight increase in the unemployment rate. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but actually adding people to the labor force and seeing more and more people getting connected to jobs is positive. So I wouldn't say that the recovery is slowing just based on that one number. You have to kind of combine it with the fact that more people are getting employed and our jobs are continuing to grow. So it's multifaceted that way.
David Berman from Florida Today asked, how will the changes in job search reporting requirements affect the unemployment rates in the coming months? And what is changing at the end of the month?
Great question. So what's happening at the end of the month is that those individuals who are claiming benefits through reemployment assistance will be required to submit their work search responses. So that means that they are required to search for work and to submit that to DEO when they file their weekly benefit claim. So with that, there's not a direct connection to the way that the unemployment rate is actually calculated. However, as people are looking for work, they will be counted into the labor force. So remember that unemployment rate is based on a survey of people. So it's all about how they respond to that survey. So if they are encouraged to look for work and they do so, whether it's related to benefits or not, then they're going to be counted in the labor force. So that actually may increase the labor force numbers, and it could actually have an impact on the unemployment rate if that's the case.
Bob Hazen asks, do you have information about what industries are posting most of the online job ads?
We do, and I'd be happy to send you a link to our online dashboard that gives a lot more detail about industry and occupations. There's a lot of breakdown on part-time and full-time jobs, a lot of information at that dashboard, so you can get all of that on our website, and we'll send you that link.
So Greg Angel asks a math question about the number of jobs in Florida versus the people in the Florida workforce. Is one greater than the other? Will one have more people than jobs or more jobs than people?
Okay, that sounds like a riddle. But I think what you're getting at is the difference in definitions between the two data series that we talked about. So when you look at the labor force statistics, that is a broader measure of employment. It includes people who are, again, it's about people. It's individuals who are either working or not working, but looking for work. And it includes people who are self-employed. So it's our labor force number is over 10 million. That's really capturing people who in their employment status. When you talk about the job numbers, that's payroll employment. So that's the actual jobs kind of on the books at a business. We know that one individual may be in multiple jobs. So there are some differences in those definitions. And we know that those don't capture the self-employed individuals or people who are not covered by unemployment insurance. So those kind of definitional differences can lead to differences when you're trying to compare them directly. I hope that answered your question. If you have more specifics, we'd be happy to go through that with you.
So Chris, from WFTV. He says Central Florida only has 3 counties under the state unemployment percent. Is this all hospitality and tourism, or is there more to these higher rates?
So
Sorry, go ahead.
no, that's okay. So I think I'm going to try to understand what you're asking for here. A lot of the impact from the pandemic and the mitigation efforts were certainly concentrated in the hospitality industry. And we know that Central Florida has a higher concentration of those jobs. So we still do see impacts from that in our unemployment numbers and our job growth numbers for those particular areas. For a more county level breakdown, we'd be happy to kind of take a deeper dive into that and see if there are differences among counties within that specific area.
Okay, Greg Angel has one more question. If DEO says Florida has 400,000 job openings, does Florida have 400,000 people to fill all of those jobs?
Okay, I apologize. I understand now. So again, these are not apples and apples. These are 2 different data series. What those represent are actually online job ads. So there's a couple of things to be aware of there. One ad may represent multiple job openings. So it could actually be an undercount of the total opportunity within the state for jobs. The other factor there is we know that there are some individuals who are multiple job holders. And so it may be that, one person can go into 2 of those job ads. So there's a lot of differences between the definitions there. So it's a little bit difficult to make that direct connection. But what you do see is that there are plenty of job openings out there. We do have continued more people moving into the labor market every day. So you also have to factor that side of it in as well. It's not just the number of unemployed. There's also people who can continue to come into the labor market and contribute to those job openings.
All right, everyone, last call for questions. We appreciate all of you joining us today for this call. We've got one more. What industries are having most difficulty filling jobs?
So that's a great question, something that we continue to try to dig into. I think at this point, we don't have clear, definitive data to show specifically which industries are having trouble filling jobs. What we can do is look at those who over several months continue to show high number of job openings. And we can actually see if those job openings are aging. And so that will give us a better picture of which industries are having jobs. But I think it's a little bit having trouble filling those jobs. I think it's a little bit too early to tell based on the information that we have.
Christopher asks, how much movement do you expect when the cruise line starts sailing later this summer?
So any activity that's going to increase opportunities for people to travel, to visit our state, to go to restaurants around those areas that have ports is certainly going to benefit those businesses and contribute to continued job growth. So I would expect to see more positive job gains related to those industries as that continues to happen.
Okay. Thank you all for joining us on the call. If you have any additional questions, you can email us at media@deo.myflorida.com. Next month's media call is scheduled for Friday, June 18th, 2021. And we'll see you all then. Thank you. Have a good day.